But hello, can everyone hear me now?
Yep.
Solid. Happy Friday.
Happy Friday, brother.
How's it going over there on the East Coast this morning?
Sunshine, blue skies, super hot.
Sunshine, blue skies. I'm kind of ready for it to heat up over here. It's been on the colder side.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh. I thought it was comfortable there. I could have sworn someone said that it was comfortable in your neck of the woods.
It's kind of like, I don't know. It's usually a breezy, cool, like 60, 65.
I like that personally, but I run hot anyway.
I'm trying to get HashPack up here.
Does this thing work?
Yeah. Hello. Finally.
Hey, we made it. Good morning. Good
Hey,
We
morning.
all made it. Yeah, sorry about that, everyone. That was crazy. The first space I
That's
started, I never saw anybody in attendance on like where I was hosting it from my PC. And I could see everyone on my phone through my personal account, but yeah, that was interesting.
that's only that's okay. He was worried and absolutely occupied with the latest cash tag. So yeah,
Yeah, they're pretty busy. That's a pretty insane push. I'm really, it
yeah,
feels good to see everyone on Hedera kind of making noise and being like, "Hey, dude, let's get some HTS tokens on there." Because absolutely,
right. And apparently, yeah, in 24 hours, even less than 24 hours, like they through that they traded like 1 billion. That's a lot of volume in 24 hours. Yeah,
it's pretty insane. I saw a interesting thread sometime in the last 48 hours that was talking about how this push and because of the latent user base that's already active on X, like they didn't just push an update, they kind of just completely shifted their business model into like financial rails. And it's insane. Like they already have a user base. It's already the spot for, specifically crypto news. And yeah, there's a lot that could happen. I would say X integrations are going to be more and more important, bigger and better than ever. That was something that we kind of talked about with Orbit at some point, which is like interacting with the Orbit protocol directly through social media, like tweeting Orbit and having us on our back end link, your handle with your trading wallet and facilitate that for you, so you don't actually have to enter Orbit to make a trade. That might happen at some point, especially kind of with the increasing prevalence of trading on X now.
yeah. Oh yeah, no, it's going to be amazing. Like the next couple of months, especially for X, going to be good. I feel also like with X money is going to be like kind of the big thing, and who knows, man? They could be what we call like Web3 player that we didn't see coming, and they scoop industry leaders out of the top one, top two, man. We never know, and never bet against Elon is usually the thing around. So yeah, we'll see. It's super interesting. Again, here for it. We had
Never bet
a
against Elon.
yeah, yeah. So hopefully we can land all the HTS tokens on there and just to be tradable. That'd be great. Looking forward to it.
So what do we got going on before we start chatting terminals? We had the McLaren Mint. That seemed pretty rad. A lot of people were loving that. It was blowing up my feed for at least 2 days. The NFTs look great.
It's super fun. It's super fun because also, it really harnesses like a piece of the crowd that we didn't know, or a piece of the crowd that again that's not inside the ecosystem yet. So it's super nice because it brings new blood, new attention, new ways of seeing things. Also, because once you hop onto the McLaren's Discord, very high chances that you know no one, which is absolutely awesome. That's new users, potential users. So yeah, and it's fun because again, like it's a destination now. Every single time there's a race, or even when there's no race, there's a collectible attached to it, and the experience has been really significantly has been better. This is the fourth drop, I think. Yeah, it's been awesome. Directly in app two. Big shout out to the McLaren guys, and of course, tech team and Pluto. It's awesome. It's super fun.
Yeah, it's it's pretty awesome to see just NFTs in general and Hedera kind of be this like massive onboarding tool and like vehicle, I guess, into the network. Um, Makes sense for sure between Dead Pixels and McLaren being that, I think, possibly in the coming months. Uh, you know, Gib is looking like it's going to be the meme runner. It's on Kraken. We're doing all the things. They're doing all the things right, and I think that's a really strong position to have from a token side of things. But the NFT side of things, like Dead Pixels is hitting top NFT volume across all chains, like pretty frequently. And yeah, it's just really fascinating to see. It doesn't surprise me that it's Dead Pixels. It surprises me that it's happening, I guess, if that makes sense. Not because of them, just because of Hedera and NFTs. If you asked me maybe like 2 or 3 years ago, if I thought Hedera NFTs were going to be the thing that gets people to have a better awareness about Hedera, I don't know if I would agree with that. I don't. I think for years I would have been like, no, it's surely it's got to be an enterprise use case. Um, but no, I'm loving it. They're some of the best gentlemen in the entire space, and they deserve all the flowers. And yeah, they are truly doing community right and art right. So cannot wait to see what they're cooking.
Oh yeah, no, likewise. Yeah, it's really awesome. Like they're constantly been hitting like top two, top three volume and all chains. It's fascinating. Generational run right now. We're here for it.
Yeah, it's a really good way to put it. Koza, how's your Friday going? I'm not sure if you can talk right now, but I see you up there.
No, I mean it's going good. A little bit busy, busier than most Fridays, but I'm not really complaining. Super happy that we got V2 out this week. The feedback's been amazing in the Discord, just in the community overall. I was just playing around a little bit on there this morning, and yeah, just looking forward to the rest of the updates. And I'm sure we'll cover here on today's hub, but the other minor kind of updates and features that we have coming over the next couple months. Building and building.
Yeah, we could kind of dance around what's going on with current state of orbit, how we're feeling about it. I will say, I guess specifically on that note, that all the people coming in and using it right now during this kind of soft launch, like it's not truly a soft launch if we made a tweet about it, but we haven't really haven't gotten our marketing video out yet, so it's kind of in a way like public QA going on right now. So in that regard, huge thank you to everyone that's kind of coming in, using the app, sharing what they like and don't like. A couple bugs have been pointed out and fixed pretty promptly, which is very similar behavior that we saw Warlock do when he pushed beta initially. He was kind of just waiting, foaming at the mouth at Discord for feedback to come in, and then he would immediately push a fix for it. So that was on brand for him to do that again. As soon as we launched, we ran into a weird charting issue where the price that was being output was inverted. So that got fixed in about an hour. The charting looks great now. Overall, the app's, you know, much more of a terminal. We've spent the last 3 to 4 months redesigning it. And in that regard, I think we are way closer to being a terminal where navigation doesn't break, context doesn't break mid trade, so that when you are looking at markets and distribution and stuff, you don't have to necessarily leave the app or leave the page that you're on to make the trade. You can just kind of interact with it and execute when the time is right. And that's kind of been a big thing that I myself have been missing on Hedera for a long time. Was you have Saucer Swap open, then you have Deck Screener open, you've got Hashcan open, you have all these different pieces and tools open that once you've been in crypto long enough, like you kind of do need all of that information to like make a better trade. And yeah, I mean that's a huge value prop of Orbit for me, is that we were able to kind of aggregate all of those different services into one product. And the beta still did that, but visually it wasn't as cohesive. It wasn't, the hierarchy wasn't defined. Users still maybe had to navigate like, where does the flow start in the app? And I think we've delivered it pretty well on the expanded token page specifically. You know, you've got token information at the top, activity, then it kind of flows left to right with the chart, distribution, and kind of transaction or activity again. Below the chart, buy and sell, audit and safety. Everything is right there. Spick and span, we're using more of the screen as well, and that kind of helps everything feel a little bit more intentional, I'd say. But we're loving it. I don't think that there's nothing that nothing is missing between now and TGE. I guess in the rewards page, various buckets haven't been brought online. So the claims for cashback rebate rewards and referrals, referrals right now isn't it's completely not live. So you can't actually share your referral codes, etc. I think we have to update the string to account for the new domain. So we changed to orbit.trading, which I'm a really big fan of. I think it's way cleaner. It's a stickier name to remember. Stands out. There's no dashes in the URL, etc. Cube, have you hopped on and messed around in orbit yet?
Yeah, of course I did, dude. As soon as V2 went live, I wanted to get my hands on it. I love it, dude. I love the shelves personally. I've been like, that's been a major quality of life improvement.
Like the token drawers, so when you hit the eyeball, it kind of pops out the breakout
Correct.
view. Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah, Warlock got inspired. That came from Phantom. So Phantom Wallet over on Solana recently did their own terminal, and we both kind of really liked their approach to discovery and execution. Other terminals, every single other terminal makes those separate pages where if you click on a token, you're then taken off of discovery to then trade. And Phantom was like, no, you shouldn't have to break discovery just to be able to like look into a token. And they achieved that through drawers, and we really loved that. So not only did we go with that, we then added a drawer for the filter. And I think the new view when you have the filter drawer open, the token table in the middle, and then the token drawer on the right, that is a pretty seedy, hefty power user view, and it's all real time, and we really like that. And again, without even having to break nav, it's really comfortable. I think it's going to be a fun process when the market heats up and things are moving again to just have this dashboard that works for you, right? Like the filter drawer is pretty incredible. Like we are essentially giving insights on those filter criteria that you can see before even looking. Like you right off the bat know where, let's say, the majority of tokens on the network live in regards to market cap, like the range they live in, right? So if you're trying to snipe earlier tokens, you can then set a range for that. Or if you're trying to get into earlier tokens that maybe haven't had their run, you can quickly filter out all those tokens. And the visual graph that's in the filters with that just makes it a little bit easier to conceptualize, I guess, before you get there. It's like assisted discovery in a way. Give me one moment. Looking for some water. We're back. We got Maui. We've got Tate, Emrak, X Raptor, all the homies. Skittles, my dude. Shady Whale. I'm trying to figure out the flow of this. Is there anything in HashPack going on right now?
Always.
I know,
yeah,
I know one thing behind the scenes, but I don't think I can
Right.
talk about it yet. I don't know if you can talk about it either.
No, but yeah, mostly the stuff that we have cooking, with you guys for sure. But also like full on like the mind share, you know, as the month will be nearing its end for sure. Like the mind share of things will be around HederaCon for sure, especially like there's so much stuff going on like through that span of like 7 weeks, 7 days, or 8 days even with consensus F1 McLaren thing. It's going to be absolutely insane. It's going to be accelerating this way. Housekeeping stuff for sure. More to be unveiled soon. Very much still writing over that Kraken stuff. Multi-language support also, that's been really good for us too. Really like the support and feedback has been really good, especially around Greek stuff. That's going to be for Cube, or Portuguese. That's for Brandon WCO down there. So yeah, it's been really good. A couple stuff also that we're going to be shipping, I would say late Q2, but yeah, super blessed.
Have you guys been tracking like Kraken deposits into HashPack? Have you seen much transfer of users that maybe have been holding on Kraken
It has.
and then diving in?
Yeah, for sure. Especially like the blip, the blip that you always have, like, is the first 4 days has been really great. Like you see, especially on Graph, and big shout out to the 8Graph guys, also provided us outstanding data per usual. The backbone, huge backbone of the ecosystem. Yeah,
Yeah,
the blip.
totally.
Yeah, big shout out to Brett. Big shout out to Tyler. Big shout out to Brendan also, and Fent. Absolutely legendary like support use cases for the entire ecosystem, giving us like what we call like storytelling to data, or is it data to storytelling? We
Yeah,
oftentimes
well
say
said.
they're awesome, really awesome. So yeah, we often like when there's a listing like that, for sure. Like there's a 4 days of like, you're like, wow, it's like good. And after that, of course, like the funnel of retention comes to mind. Hopefully those folks want to stay and they can stay also. But we have so much to offer right now. I've said that over Pack the Mic yesterday. We're right now, yes, market condition, yes, price action, but at the same time, even though we're having a small rally right now, what we have to offer in terms of products, use cases, mind share of the entire ecosystem, when you have those blips and the latest Kraken listings of the entirety of such great powerhouses for HTS right now, is like, okay, well, now I have DeFi, I have collectibles, I have rare swaps with Tigers, I have Tates who are also putting out great content and shows like Raptors, Helix, Terminal. So you have this vast array of stuff that hopefully folks can just attach to, and it's really sticky for them to be finding on pace inside the culture we have to offer. So yeah.
I mean, there's so much that comes to mind with that, right? I think Hedera's in this really unique spot, despite the market, where there's been so much building happening for so long, and communities are established, and tooling has progressed far enough that there's opportunity despite the market condition. And I think that's kind of what we're seeing. And it doesn't negate the conditions of the market, but it does kind of make it easier to continue to participate within the network outside of market conditions. And I would say not every network has that going for them. I think there's a lot of places where you're kind of just sitting around. And it's really exciting to be on Hedera at a time where you don't just have to sit around. That feels really good. And we haven't, we've been in other cycles on the network and we've been sitting around during those. And it definitely feels a lot different, despite, again, I've said it like twice now or three times. The market's crazy, makes no sense. And it feels like everything is a spinning plate and it could just fly off at any moment. But for whatever reason, Hedera is pretty comfy, at least as a user on the network right now. There's a lot of different avenues for you to spend your time and genuinely participate, and it feels rewarding in a way.
Absolutely agree. Yeah.
So with Orbit V2, we're getting a marketing video made right now. We've got our token at the end of the month. We could possibly go into Q2 stuff. Now I know there's a handful of questions around specifically the farm airdrop, and we're going to be giving more concrete details about that distribution as we get closer. But I can say today that the farm itself is not 100% raw volume and points. There's a couple more criteria and conditions happening under the hood. All that to say that, number one on the amount of activity or volume or trading activity is still going to be number one. It's just not going to be like that person gets 75% of the airdrop. That's not exactly what we are aiming to do with that airdrop. There's more criteria, such as, how long have they been participating? Did they join in and start trading the very first week of beta? Are they accessing different parts of the app when they're using it? Stuff like that, So
Oh, that's good. Great, even.
yeah, it's meant to really reward people that are using Orbit in its entirety. It's not meant to just be this thing that you could wash trade and absorb the entire thing. So more concrete details coming out closer to that date. And yeah, it's hard. The timing of everything is turning out to be really kind of bang, 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 and I like that. Team likes that. But in regards to something like HederaCon, for me and Warlock to then attend, it's like 3 or 4 days after our token goes live. And it would be kind of rough to let Weston just hold the ship, I guess, for a couple days. So we'll see. We'll see if it works out that I can go or if Warlock can go or maybe both of us can go. But um, between beginning development on our Q2 deliverables, which we've already started, a handful of them got worked on over the last couple months when we had downtime. And the token, there's just a lot going on right now for us, and we love it. Don't get me wrong, but it does make something like HederaCon feel harder than it should be to actually attend without feeling like we're leaving things unattended at the same time. But yeah, so Q2, moving kind of what's next for Orbit, we've got P&L metrics, shareable P&L cards, and yield. And yield's going to be provided through a Bonzo integration, which we're really happy about. Anytime we can leverage an ecosystem partner rather than do it ourselves, we're typically going to do that. Now, in regards to like our own token, we're not launching our company token through Meme Job. That's insane. We don't need to do that. We can deploy our own token and create our own LP on Saucer Swap. And like our NFT collection, we could have leveraged a third party for that NFT INO, but it was something that we knew we could take care of in house. And it's a fine line between can we do it ourselves without it being a huge sprint? If we can, we'll likely do that because again, it's not really weight on us or time taken away from us to make it happen. But with something like yield, there's a couple different solutions between Bonzo, IBFi. Jeremy reached out to me recently, and I'm very interested in that. The very first thing I asked him, I was like, "Hey, do you guys have an API so that our users could take advantage of IBFi without leaving the app?" And he told me that they're working on the API right now. So that would be a really comfy opportunity for single-sided staking of Orbit within the app, powered by IBFi. Really looking for, well, I'm excited to see how that progresses for them and for us if we can make that work between us. I think it should. And what else? I mean, there's a handful of features. I don't want to name drop stop loss too soon, but that is something that's really on my mind right now. I would say the trading loop is almost there. Limit orders are close, but a limit order doesn't necessarily execute if you're losing. Well, it doesn't go in. You're never losing money in the limit order, which is nice. But stop loss would be nice on active positions and active tokens that you're holding so that you truly can make a trade, set it, and forget about it. And there's a lot that we could do with stop loss and take profit over time. You know, something as basic as stop loss and almost as powerful as stop loss would be free as a core part of the Orbit trading terminal. And that could just be like a really simple price condition trigger, right? Sell token if the price goes down 10% and your position automatically closes. Then expanding upon that, you know, you can do multi-logic conditions. There's a pretty nifty way to introduce system or terminal wide automation. So rather than you having to set that for each trade, you can just set it at a terminal level and it applies to every token you buy. And that has a lot of control in it, right? That's a very systemic way of trading. And that type of stuff, I think, as you get more wide, not as simple as just a stop loss on one position, but maybe conditions on all trades or on the entire platform. That's kind of where the pro advanced features of Orbit, I think, really start to shine. And those are all really good opportunities to use the Orbit token to unlock, right? If you hold the Orbit token, you can access not a core feature, but kind of more of that feature. You can trade safely, and then you can trade smartly, dare I say. But I think core protection on your positions should be a base feature of the app. So that's kind of where my head's at lately with trying to get stop loss and take profit prioritized in the coming months. Yeah, really excited. I mean, we don't really have, other than portfolio and expanding the portfolio page. So right now it's kind of just a holdings table, but actually adding like total balance, tradable balance, performance over time, tracking the P&Ls that you've actually captured and displaying them back. So letting you know, like, hey, I seem to have a lot of trades that have ended up in, oh, I don't know, like minus 10%. What's going on with that? Or I've caught a couple 200% trades. Those feel good. Things like that. I think being able to display that back to our user base will be a really nice part of the portfolio. And the last thing that I heard from Warlock was that the way that they've started to conceive portfolio, we might be able to import other wallets into the portfolio, and you can use our kind of structure in our front end as a portfolio for other wallets and pull their transaction history, their P&L. So that's really exciting. I think that's a pretty good use case, letting people get more information on their portfolios and different wallets. And that would be free. You wouldn't have to do anything for that. That's just something that I think we'll be able to facilitate through Orbit. And it's Friday. Sorry, I'm poking around, trying to see
Yay.
if I'm missing anything specific.
Hey Juno,
What up?
when nuke button?
Dude, right?
I thought about that
Um,
also. I knew you would bring that up.
yeah, I mean, a sell all positions button, super high value. I don't see why we can't get that into. I think it'd kind of have to live in the portfolio page. We might be waiting to pursue that until we also do multi-wallet support at the same time. I don't, those are two completely separate things, but they live in the same spot. So it's a good thing to remind me about for sure, because a nuke button sounds really fun and helpful in a lot of ways, right? Or like a nuke all to USDC stable up button or something. And then the question was asked this morning, I think in the Discord, about USDC trading. I think that might have been Debug. Where was that? I don't know. Somewhere in our Discord, we were asked about USDC trading and if that's still something that we're considering. And it definitely is still something that we're considering. We just needed to get our deliverables out. It's a fine line between like even the stop loss, right? It's a fine line between identifying features we want and knowing the features that we have to ship. But a nuke button and USDC trading are both absolutely in our scope long term. I would say that they will happen. We just, we kind of need to get what we need to get out first before we can kind of have fun. But it's all fun. And yeah, I think the way that we would facilitate that is on monitor page. We would expand blue chip trending and new, and then probably create a stablecoin option, or specifically USDC, and only USDC pools would be displayed there. And then at the same time, we would most likely offer either an additional readout at the top of the page next to your HBAR balance with your USDC balance, or possibly have like a toggle that changes the interface to go from HBAR to USDC entirely. But yeah, we need to crank on the UX so that it's not confusing what pool you're trading if you're looking at one balance but you're trying to trade a different pool completely, but we do want to make it easier for people to stable up in as little transactions as possible, for sure. That is something that we are still passionate about. We haven't forgotten about it. It'll make more and more sense as we get closer to the Hyperliquid integration. They use USDC rails. At that point, we anticipate more and more people, I think, to have some USDC on them. So offering USDC pools and facilitating USDC trading becomes a lot more prevalent over time, for sure. We will also be doing, as far as I'm aware, USDC yield through Bonzo when we bring that in Q2. We're not porting over all of Bonzo. We're being very kind of specific and intentional about the assets in Q2 that we want to offer yield on. And then realistically, it's HBAR, USDC, and Orbit. Those are the three that we feel make the most sense within a trading environment to stable up, earn passively. You know, you're trading HBAR. HBAR is the native layer. Most of our pools at that point will be HBAR. All of them will be HBAR. So having a way to kind of lock that up and set aside, passively earn some rewards on that, that makes sense. USDC also makes sense from the singular goal of wanting to increase stablecoin TVL. We're really passionate about that. And then Orbit, everyone's getting an airdrop, everyone's going to be trading Orbit. So having, again, a way or a vehicle to set that aside and passively earn on it, it's very important for us. And yeah, it's all happening. It's all happening like right now, which is insane. We're a day shy of 2 weeks from TGE, and it's been a long time coming. Thank you kind of to everyone that hung in there and stuck with us through that. For me, you know, it was kind of a no-brainer to get the app a little bit more developed before doing a token. To me, it's just extremely, you know, one was a beta that was really a proof of concept at that point. It wasn't really like a cohesive product. It was in a lot of ways, but at this point now, you know, we also have our rewards loops built out. Those will be coming online, and all of Orbit, the tokens kind of purpose and role has a lot more context now, given that we have an app and a product to serve it. Yeah, and again, I know that it's taken a long time to get this token out, but it's finally coming, and that's really exciting. And I'm just poking around right now, looking at things.
Yes, I was spinning stuff also on the board. Yeah, the date is coming, man. April 30th. It's gonna be awesome.
It's coming up.
Hey.
It's coming up. It's coming up. It should be a pretty good thing. I mean, I'm very passionate about rewarding the people that participated during beta. You guys were all essentially early supporters for our company. And yeah, I mean, it's the farm is going to be fair. The NFTs aren't, I think, too massive or too insane. We had a couple whales go absolutely crazy on the collection, but you know, other than that, I think it's going to be a pretty comfortable experience. You know, I'm not going to come in here and blow up the airdrop or the token or the NFT allocations. It's just kind of not how I believe marketing should be done. But I'm pretty happy with them. I think I'm feeling good, and I think the really cool thing about Orbit and its relationship to the token or the terminal to the token is specifically the vehicle around cashback rebate rewards and how they work. So, you know, we collect a 1% fee or less with NFTs, significantly less. It goes down to like 0.2, which becomes the cheapest way to trade on the network. But with cashback, we're not just giving you tokens from the total supply whenever you make a trade. That would be diluting everyone's bags. So instead, from the circulating supply and the liquidity pool, we're market buying the token off the market at the time of a transaction, using less of that 1% fee that we take, and we're using part of that fee to serve cashback rewards. So the really cool thing is essentially as as the platform gets more people using it, the token just has this machine that's working for it 24/7. Every time someone interacts with Orbit or buys through Orbit, the token is being affected. And then it becomes, you know, how do we add more value to these tokens? Well, you create more and more additional advanced trading features that make it easier and facilitate kind of more systemic trading or more automated trading. And you know, I think when this tooling comes around, then you start to see people on social media share their triggers for stop loss and stuff like that. And then people are sharing strategies, and Orbit just kind of becomes this cultural hub for trading, which has kind of been the goal from the beginning. And I'm really passionate that, you know, we aren't a token that tried to add utility. We're a product that has a token that benefits from the product's usage. I think that's a really comfortable way to just build a little ecosystem for ourselves, and we're feeling pretty confident about it. It should pan out nicely.
A cultural hub to be trading is awesome.
The hub.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I mean when we add SocialFi or social tracking, wallet tracking, copy trading, like all of this behavior starts to emerge. And one thing that I'm really focused on right now because I'll be honest, kind of dropped the ball during beta. My head was down, all of our heads was down, and the problem with doing that was then the network ran the narrative for us. So what I mean by that is, there are still people that think we're a DEX. There are still people that think we're an order book. We're a layer that sits on top of these existing solutions, right? So my focus right now, leading up to TGE and for the rest of the year, is driving home narrative. My goal is to get the community and the network to be able to tell me what orbit is correctly. That's awesome. I would love that. And that's on me to kind of help facilitate that. But cultural hub really is kind of the best way to frame emerging trading behavior, right? I think one crazy thing is that in 2026, this network hasn't really had trading culture because the tooling and the infrastructure wasn't there to support that type of activity. And that excites me because traders exist. I think we're all in crypto. We all have some risk tolerance. We've all made trades. We've all made swaps. So the users are there. They just haven't really been enabled or empowered to kind of lean into that. And emerging behavior and being a part of something that helps facilitate new behavior emerge on a network is really fulfilling for me. Being, I've been on a handful of networks, been on Hedera for a long time, but to play a part in something new and seeing what that might do for the network as a whole, whether that helps facilitate another meme wave, whatever. I don't even just more kind of informed trading, and people are become not have higher risk tolerance, but they become more aware of the market that they buy into when they're buying into a token. Those are all really net positives for a network to mature through. And yeah, I mean, it's pretty rad to play my own part in that, especially for my home base on Hedera. I've been here forever, so to just lurk in discords for years and then build a product that actually helps me and others trade better, it's pretty rad. It's a cool spot to be at. We're coming up on around 40 minutes because of technical difficulties at the start, but I think that may be the Friday hub. And I would say, again, we changed our domain to orbit.trading. If you haven't gotten in yet, please do. Drop in the Discord. Let us know what you like and don't like. It's totally helping us out. That's basically our focus right now for the next 2 weeks, other than gearing up and getting ready for token. It's QA. It's listening to you guys and hearing what's working and what's not working. It definitely helps us out and gets our product to be that much better. And you guys have all played a role in it. Also, the farm is still on live, so you can still participate in the coming airdrop. That's something that you can take advantage. It's almost the best time right now. Now that we have a brand new app, it's spick and span, and the farm's going on. Come in, participate, check us out.
Just don't take my
new
spot
look
on the
is
leaderboard.
yeah. Just don't mess with Cube.
You'll lose. It's not worth your time.
Phil, do you have any weekend plans?
I still need to work on a couple of rollouts. Well, 2 actually, and 3 pieces of come. I just want to hone that out before it's actually the weekend. No plans, really. I don't know. My head's really still all around work, so I will need to unplug at some point. But I'm still into I'm tunnel vision of a couple stuff. So no plans, no touching grass this weekend. How about you?
Yeah, I feel that. My one of my good friends actually booked a sauna yesterday, and I joined her in the sauna, and it was phenomenal. So that was like touching grass 2.0, I think. Do that. Grass is great. Sauna's badass. Go do that. So that was a
I'm
really nice
jealous.
Awesome.
rejuvenating thing But yeah, in regards to tunnel vision, I would totally agree with you there. There's a handful of stuff happening right now that demands my focus and attention, and I do have a nice party on Saturday. I'm gonna see my cousin, and um, for those, this is like old alpha, but I know Warlock through my cousin. They went to college together, then we all went to Burning Man. Um, so my cousin's a huge part of my life, and I haven't seen him in about 2 months. So there's a nice little party going down here in town on Saturday. So that's going to be a nice treat to unplug, and I'll be thinking about work the whole time. I can almost guarantee that because I can't not think about it right now. There's just a lot of things moving that have been in motion for forever. So it's a really cool place to be. Don't get me wrong, but it is the place that I'm at, and I'm happy to be here. So I'm kind of with you. I've got some fun this weekend, but there's a handful of work things that
Hmm.
will be getting panned out. Yeah, I've got a meeting with Weston over the weekend, and I'm sure I've got a meeting with Warlock as well. Almost positive I do. What about you, Cube? What's going on over there?
I'm debating if I'm gonna go out or not. I'm like over the worst part of this whatever bug I caught. Uh, but like, should I go out and like really stress it, or should I just stay at home and watch some videos and game and just take it easy? Probably gonna go do the latter, honestly. Uh, doesn't mean I'm not gonna touch grass. You know, I still got all my pepper trees or plants and all my orange and lemon trees to take care of. So I'll still get some sunshine. I'll still touch some grass, but I might not go do anything to, tonight or this weekend.
Sorry, if you guys could hear me clicking and clacking, apologies. Yeah, in regards to you gaming, I always see you on Baldur's Gate 3, and that makes me really happy. And me, you, and Warlock should do a campaign together.
Ooh, we should, dude.
Yeah,
Absolutely. Sign me up.
yeah. When things slow down a bit, and we have a little bit more cognitive bandwidth to even think about that, that sounds nice. What's that like? What's it like to just be able to clock out of work?
I
Just kidding.
wouldn't
I did
know.
that for 10 years.
I'm on call too often.
It's bizarre. I live outside of San Francisco, Silicon Valley. People are aware of startups. A lot of people here have worked in startups, and it's very fascinating talking to people and letting them know that I'm working at a small startup. And the people that know fully know that it like never ends. It's like a 24/7 thing. You can't clock out. You don't really want to clock out either. That's kind of my point is it, the whole world is just this little project that a group of people are working on and that are passionate about. And it's so different than how so many people around me operate. And it's hilarious when someone gives me advice and I'm like, wow, that sounds nice. I love that you can do that. Um, but it's just different context, right? And I wouldn't trade what I'm doing right now for anything. I would never go back to a previous job or go back and work at Apple again. It's way more freeing, and it's on my time. I have more control. I have more input, more output, or more agency. All of it, right? Like it's a very different world to be living in, and happy to be here for sure. It just means that a little bit less grass gets touched here and there, and that is okay. But with that, everyone have a good weekend. Happy Friday. Um, Check us out on Orbit. Come trade. See what's up. Let us know what you like and don't like. And we're really excited to be gearing up for our token. It's going to be coming sooner than we know it. I mean, yeah, we're just counting down the days now. And it's pretty exciting times for us. I don't know if it needs to be said again or reiterated, but we are getting our Michael white paper in line that will help us get our token listed on places like Kraken when it makes sense. I'm still trying to not gauge expectations, just be real about the situation. I can almost assume that Kraken wants to see like established users and established volume before they'll list something. I might be wrong. We're in contact, but um, we're doing what we need to do to play ball correctly. So very exciting times for Orbit all around. We have a new app, token coming, new features coming, and yeah, we're just really passionately somehow becoming the terminal that we want to be. And we're stoked about that. So thank you for joining the hub. We're going to be signing off here. And have a good Friday.
Happy Good Friday.
Ciao.